Oh yeah, tang azo nonji chena ni ta nonji luso sekarwa ta de ni ge peri ka tu tela ni ngelo gongji ja ho yore ta de ta ya ji zom zo de ge jinje na gi pa na ji xie de na ya de ze pengri song de kai se na ya ji de nyenge sabana botani to ta nyenge ngi bot so do hakko korwa Dina sabak kashi kashi le dewa ina, ane di tumune kona ija karchi digi na so, antani so musiwa marwa. Di za ne ta di jinse dine gipate di zishu na somso.
So normally we start the sessions with a bit of meditations, and I'm assuming that most of people who listen to these teachings have been a regular attendance. But however, so there might be time to time. So there might be also some others who might be listening to this. Coming to this session for the first time, so therefore I thought the time to time, I thought that I should explain a bit about the meditation practice, like the benefit of meditation practice and so forth.
Oh yeah, that's it. Ne gong chenga te ne nimar rel te nyos lene ne rambaji te ya kombaji. Jesona, ani lise nikala ni dewo yuya ni pento shoji ye de zendala cha wa ina. Ani lise nikala ni dewo de cha jeskrung dewa shole ni tani pento ya wares.
So there's a great benefit of integrating a meditation practice on like on a day-to-day basis, and because you would find that meditation practice is very effective in terms of bringing peace and happiness on both the mental and physical levels.
Inza ane tsendi ge la cha chanayo nga zo kange muboji ane no sen no to da ane se shiro de yin wala tene ane kange muboji mo chewa tandi le go yorwa de inza ane kange te do pa che chetala ane ta gongji chewa ina semba lele re wada ane ya ji no to la supada ane shiro yin wala supa ne ka ne kaya tandi ga ane pendo yores.
The meditations help us to bring about this peace and happiness within us is because what causes us to lose peace and find ourselves restlessness and very agitated. So it's because of if you look among all so many different causes, but really the primary causes is our own the lack of the control or the disciplines on our thoughts or on our mind. So how with the lack of the control of our mind, and we find we notice that the reason why sometimes if we examine the causes, why we feel ourselves restlessness, so we find that we can recognize that it's because our mind is not resting within ourselves. It's not within ourselves. So rather, it is under the influence of some external distractions, and there's some things, the mind is being, there's a filled with so many, the disturbing thoughts. So therefore, we can find that how when we engage in meditation practice and where we overcome all this the mental distractions, when we remove all these agitated thoughts or the disturbing thoughts, then we find that naturally then we will note that this brings us more peace and happiness.
Nga zo manta yinbi ni ta sembalo ni ngaso tan te tegro ba. Karzena nga zo te zupo peche ton ni gro la kale wa te na zupo kale kharwa. Te na ji ga semba te wishro te yin kechi chu mo deba. Ani mombo chi lin ju de wa insa. Ani lepo kale ka wano chi te no ji ga ani sembala kale kharwa. Te insa ta manta yinbi ga ni sembala ko ngaso te tegro wa. So meditation practice also help us to giving a rest to our mind. So we have to just as our body need of rest. If our body doesn't get a rest, then it can have a we can have a physical problems. So so likewise, so it's also, we got to also remember that the mind also need a rest from all these unending thoughts. So we can at least say that at least the meditation can give this just some moment of rest for our mind. And that tombo nga zu nyole ji de zale de skale ko yo le ti na ya. Ani rim ma re la ni kama kashi kashi ni che de wa na. Ani rima ji de kon ro ne. Ni le la ro res. Ani le la ro li ma che ta de ne ka ga ta se ma nge so ti le ma che wa ni. Ani ti rima ji ta ni de wa chi mo ye de ni. Tini yungu ye sa res. So so if you are a beginner to this meditation practice, then of course we cannot expect that we when we as soon as we engage in meditation practice that we'll be able to actually to calm our mind from all the the disturbing thoughts. So however if we make an effort and do this, engage in the meditation practice and trying to habituate ourselves with this meditation practice, then we will be able to make some progress in terms of our ability to disciplining or to controlling our mind, and then through this to bring the rest in our mind, and then, as I said before, then eventually even to enhancing really more deeper sense of the peace and happiness within our mind. Ani shune ne lig dulula suba ani denda je tani sungsha yare ina yota zo te ani chitang gachi te sumbo ya bo chine dewa ina ani ta gipo zo chine ani gachi te songsona zar sumbo cha za sumbo cha na luen sumbo cha ne tino luen ya ma ju yaro che za ne luen sumbo cha ne ni pentu chimbo ye sa se des.
So for meditation practice, so there's also we find in the scriptures about the various the features, the physical feature in meditation posture that we can adopt, that we should adopt, and such as the postures with the 7 features. So now, without going in detail on all these features, so now at least we must remember that one of the most important feature is to keeping the back of our body as straight as possible. So because the benefit of that is that having the straight back is then means makes the internal or the psychic channel also straight, and so when these the psychic channels are straight, then the allowed all the wind energy to flow in it very smoothly, and so therefore this it has some benefit. This physical posture, right physical posture, has some benefit in helping us, orienting us, our mind to rest and to have a good focus on the objects.
Teongta le tombo gongen rawjina winjunga la mineni gonjawaina ne yudachewaina gonjudachewaina ne despektu chia sare karisena winjunga tene ngaso mi peyela ani ta jem rawada ani tani chewa sare ani chimita mi pasa ba ji so dena ani je rawada ngaso winjunga tela shiboji kondewa insa ani winjunga te ta yan rosu man rosu so na buji chin semba tel mine ani yan ro te man rosu so tandi ji mine ni kama ka ji re ju ta tandi ro ji ka jumba ji to komba chena ani le tombo wala tani ka pendo chesa res.
And then as to choosing the object for the meditation practice, then it is the breathing. Our breathing is as an object is recommended for the beginner meditation practitioners. So now there is the object. Suppose if the object that we choose if it's something which we are not familiar with, then it's hard. And then it makes us difficult to focus on, difficult to even to remember the objects. So, but the breathing is as an object is something we are so used to it, because we have always been breathing, and so this it is very using that as an object of meditation. So it will make us very easy to remember to the objects. We don't need to make an effort to find out or study, learn about the objects, because the breathing, because we are very familiar with our breathings. So therefore if you use the breathing as a meditation object, then all we do is just we in the meditation practice. So we simply be aware of the fact of that one is breathing in and then breathing out, and just fully aware of this incoming and outgoing breath.
Suzuna Mire, ni Shilugule, Hungle, Catanigan, ni Sembate, Shilun Trodewa Tandida, Yachi, Lomadeva Tandiaina, negachilani gongchane sema jonor then min jotsare ni kalmoya poji chia tnigi chetani peringongo gongjaete tnigi chet insares.
And there's also the good reasons why when we should start our practice with a bit of this just breathing meditations, for example, to still or to calming our mind, and so because for a lot of us we during the day or during in all other times, so we are all engaged, involved in so many the activities, whether it's doing house chores or you are go to office works, and so therefore our mind would be so there's so much filled with so many thoughts. So therefore it's when we by beginning our session with the breathing meditations, then it kind of it is to the purpose of which is to really to remove all this, like emptying all our our thoughts, mind, with all this mental distractions, all the disturbing thoughts, and then we're making sure that and after our mind is fully calmed and at rest, and then it is very good. Then we begin the actual the like practice, whatever the main practice that we are doing. Then if we begin that, and then we can we have a better focus and concentration on our main practice. Okay, so let's leave these brief explanations on these breathing meditations, and now let's do a very short breathing meditations together, and just putting into practice what we have discussed above.
yeah, to che.
Thank you.
Dandi ngelang so positive nunela. Jimba Sandra ne zewa sante ni dando duiresa ne shusumares.
So in the preceding, teachings, so we finished about the, of the 6 perfections. So the perfection of giving and the moral ethics and patience.
Tatri ne zendi ngone meredendis. Tenza ne ta jimbala supiga ni sanxie piga godala ni ta zendi shikwi jinse karsena ta jimbada ane sundra zewasa ane shiba wana ane tzo nyasa lempala ane ta rechi reni so mayimba tenyo ne karsikra jimbe pasal 타심바지 토바샤 위시다 아니 될 젠디소 그거래스네 아니 디골 젠디시 그거래스.
So tonight, so we will talk about the perfection of Joyous Effort. So now, so this the reason why we now, after talking about the perfection of giving and other, the patience and the moral ethics. Now, then we find about these joyous effort. So this is to imply that it is not just enough to actually learn about all the other, like the perfection of giving and so forth, morality and so forth, but we must also put what we have learned into practice, and which too the practice engaging in the practice, is just engaging, once for a while or for once a time is not enough, but rather instead we must practice in engage in the practice, the over and over again, and so therefore the perfections of joyous effort is so very important.
Ta jeza ne ta dene ne jase lo le so demi gu tsawa chena ne tsendi de kande shi de sena ne rudem ba shi dripi nyeron yo gola mesho do ta tsen tone ne ndok ten de yeten june che ne tsendi tsomba jase lo le yisne ne tne shi so yo des.
Now, referring to these texts, 37 practices of the Bodhisattvas, so we are up to verse 28, which read, "Seeing even hearers and solitary realizers who accomplish only their own good strive as if to put out a fire on their head. So for the sake of all beings, make enthusiastic effort, the source of all good qualities." So this is the practice of Bodhisattvas.
Te ta chi ti tendo karse gorsena ani chi tongbo tiga ni chi tongbo ni tiga ani gyase shonju sembo no chiga karan tongwa resena nyenti tu roja ala su pi temen no chi ni ani zo che de shawa run ji bi ge che de ta ani toja de tawa to bi ge shida ani ta pi pena nga tsuti ngol me shoye shoye na lonso ma meti se ta mata beje chigro te na jiga ne tawa to yela beje chigndus beje chigndus gorda ti to moni.
So So first, just to explain the literal meanings of this verse. So in the first two lines, we note these terms, hearers and solitary realizers. So these hearers and solitary realizer are the follower of the lesser vehicles, and so as a follower of these lesser vehicles, and so there the main purpose for which they follow the path, so is really just for their own sake, merely for their own benefits, and then and what kind of the object of the goal that they perceive to benefit themselves. So is the state of liberations, from a cyclic existence. So now, what we find in these two lines is that however in pursuit of their this selfish focus goal, self-purpose goal of liberations, and the extent of the effort that they make or the diligence that they put in their practice is like same as like how if our let's say if our head caught a fire, and then of course we cannot just be relaxed. We have to put effort. So that kind of urgency and the importance that that level of enthusiasm they put in their path to achieve their goals.
제장안에 녀로노 지주다 타와토비치도 드니그 젠디 시에나 맞지거네 세제 도제 대달라 세제 도제 그 쳇달라 네 도자네 더 예대 건적은 유네 네 주비 수지 공부 터발라 네 텔로바지 네 젠디 시네 네 녀슬래 고 그래스네 아니 드니 숨고요 그래서
Okay. And so taking into account of the level of the effort and the enthusiasms that the practitioners or the follower of these lesser vehicles of the hearer and solitary realizer make, and then for those who are on the path of the great vehicles, so are like for those who whose main reason, main purpose for engaging in the path is to benefit all sentient being, as it says in this root text, for the sake of all beings. And so it's for the sake of all beings, and then in order to benefit all sentient beings, and then the kind of goal that they perceive, the follower of the great vehicle or the Mahayana perceive is the complete enlightenment, which is the state which is free, excellent state, free of all the faults, but possessing all the excellent qualities. So therefore, it's saying if the follower of the lesser vehicle have to put such a great deal of effort, then what need is there to mention for those who or those of the Mahayana's followers who who aspire to achieve complete enlightenment, for the sake of all sentient being. So what need is to mention that they must put even a greater amount of the enthusiastic effort in the path.
Ana ani Zendi tendra sheguyana, ta zendi kono ngona te karare siguyana. Ani zendi ngona te karasena, rungi mi de chi gewaji la mine. Ani tela trobi gone, mbeze, shepi gone, shipaji la. Ani zendi isene. Ani teni siguyare. Ani ta dipa magewa la supala ya, mbeze shezang etsola, matsuta bechi inji sine yana mashimato. Mbeze sigure mato. Ani tel zendi sigiyo mares. Zendi singi tela ne gewaji kogiyo sene. Ani tate zendi gela toa hose. Te shenju shimo inza, shenju shimo na tene sunjo yeres.
So after finding out that how much how important is for this enthusiastic effort is necessary. Now in the practice then now if we ask we need to know then what is that the joyous effort, what is it? And now here we have to make in joyous effort, which in Tibetan terms is called like a tsundu. So is by definitions, so it's refers to like a mental factor or a state of mind, which the focus or who's engaged in the virtuous objects, and then which takes great delight, delight and in enthusiastically, in engaging in that, delightfully and enthusiastically, engage in the virtuous objects, in the virtuous, objects. So given that is the meaning. So how we can also talk about effort, just normal effort, and we could have which doesn't have to be have that kind of attributes of being taking like a delight in the virtues, in delight and enthusiasm in engaging in virtues. Doesn't necessarily. So we can also have the effort the exert effort in even doing the like a non-virtuous or unwholesome actions. So that can be, in Tibetan terms, so it can be like a just normal effort, like a besol, which in general effort, which doesn't necessarily have to be aimed at virtues, aimed at and taking delight in undertaking a virtuous actions. So have you ever hear when we talk about the joys or the joyful effort? So is we are referring to this to the effort state of mind which enthusiastically and joyfully engaging or engaging in virtuous objects.
Machezangta zendi liyewa sene kasishe yorelana zendi liyewa tela sumushe chandus teone gochi zendi sengenda ne gewa chida pi zendi sengenda ane seche teje zendi sene ane sumushe chandus
당부 가서
고치 젠디
라
고차 고차 캔슬이요.
So now if we move to the types of this joyful effort, then there are three types. That is the armor like joyful effort, and then the joyful effort of gathering virtue, and then joyful effort of benefiting sentient beings.
다 고치 젠디 생에테 간에 세근세나 베나게 틴드네즈데니 세제도젤라나 주비슌젤라 게 마타제 파타네 도케 젠디 셰게 비스노네 비 단자빈 거네 아니 단자빈 거네 젠디 셰파텔라 아니 다 고치 젠디 세근도스.
So the first the armor-like joyful effort is the what that involve? What that mean? What does that mean? Is that it is the kind of commitment that we make ourselves in the virtues, such as we take a pledge, we take a commitment to that until we achieve the complete enlightenment, we will never give up, workings for the working on the path, making effort in the path, and so that kind of the commitment, which we make in putting our effort in achieving the goal. So that's is the meaning of the armor like a wearing an armor of joyful effort.
Te mewa zo ma taj patat ni soso ta pashu chu shu sona soso ta chu ma ta ya ko la kora la so pa ta di so ta ani ya paso lo se se ta ya ga chi ya se ja la so pa ko di so ne ani tni go che tra le be che so ta ni yo ro wa chen di so be che se ro ta o tni le shi go res.
So it's if we here using the example of an armor, so which if we how this armor like effort, so it's similar to wearing an armor, armor as like a shield of armor if you are if you go into a battleships. So the armor will help us to protect us from all the harm that we receive from the enemies, and so therefore with the armor-like effort, then we'll be able to overcome all the obstacles which will anything that will kind of impede us in the maintaining our the effort or the diligence in the practice.
Ani da nipa gewachi de pitsendi sengite da ndinge la tsundra shewi kasalani gewachi de tsundra sendi chi shewa. O tenoji ta roja gewate ani ma shewa to shewa no ne kuna pewa shewa shida ani zendi shepatela.
So the next, the joyful effort of gathering virtues. So that is has the same meaning as the morality. One of the morality or the moral ethic of getting virtues. So it's the same meaning. So here too, it is referring to all the effort that we and the enthusiasm that we generate towards gathering the new virtues that we have not gathered yet, or if there's any virtues, those virtues which we have already gathered, then we further increasing those virtues. So all this effort to accumulate or to increasing the virtue, so that's is called as the the joyful effort of gathering virtue.
That's some sense digits and the singing it. Tanga need central got shape, sense digits and the chichina was a share. Oh, ten mujiga, only Siji Deshia, Chetani, Deshiala, only in Bejashiatin. Oh, the Dirishas.
So then the third type of joyful effort of benefiting sentient beings. So this one too, which we can go back to this one type of the moral ethics, which is a moral ethic of benefiting sentient beings. So where we talked about the 11 ways of benefiting other sentient beings. So it's the same here. So it's referring to all the joyful effort which are directed towards the benefiting sentient beings.
Seji Dorje Chite, Shao Yambiga, ne Tonja with Sindiche. As the nigger Tonja was Sana, Anita Sechi de Shawala, Toma Rujich, ne Giovanna Rusupata, ne competa Tongoiza, ne the near Rujich Giva competata. The ne Seji Chite, Shagoiza, ne Techine, there's something ne Gorgon Noslen with the Utanizola.
So in the same order that we listed these three types of the joyful effort, so we applied this joyful effort necessary to apply it in our practice in the same order. So that is it is important that the first we generate the armor-like effort. So which, as said before, which is referring to the kind of the committing ourselves that to by thinking, by generating a thought that I will you affirming yourself that I will I will work towards the welfare of all sentient beings. So that kind of strong commitment, towards until and it is for this purpose. So you want to you want to accomplish, you want to achieve the complete enlightenment. So that commitment. So therefore, one must first generate to the armor-like joyful effort to of affirming oneself to benefit, to work towards for the welfare of all other beings, and then one must in order to benefit other sentient beings. So one must is also becomes indispensable that first one must accumulate all the virtues, have to increase all the virtues, and then having done so, then after that, then the third joyful effort of benefiting others, then then it become suitable for then one to be able to to engage in the act of benefiting other beings.
That Zendi Denina, and it's Zendi Rujil Shesona Pen Carriore, Sewaina, and it's Zendi Ena, that Suzo Negada, Tatuka Leka Carra Chewaina, Tini Lekate, Pile Hawongone, and then Jagores. Timothy, and it's Zendi Epic Matizolani, Leka Kaleka Caseina, ne, ta Pajan Jondo, Azonda what the Yida. Ne, Zendi Mena, and Lely Yamut and Rosona. ane shawa chushula yo ane kale kabo shoji ndra matawa tani re de yores ten za da ma ja ane lekar chil gonela kalatandi yore te ineya ane zo te sembe ngone tsendi solong to ta gonela ane roge sares.
So then we should also then be aware of this the benefit of the joyful generating joyful effort. So the benefit is that if we have a joyful effort, then we can easily and quickly accomplish all our goals, whether those goals are something immediate goal or the long-term goals, all can be accomplished. If we have enough enthusiastic effort or joyful effort, then this goal we could accomplish that very easily. We can even if we won't feel, even if the task that is involved is really a very big one, but we won't feel that as I said, really a big task. Whether it will seem small, and so, like on the conversely speaking, how if we lack this joyful effort, if we lack the enthusiastic effort, then how it becomes even very difficult for one to even to tackle a very small activities, which seems to be a lot of effort, and so so therefore you can easily fall under succumb yourself to any form of like a laziness. So therefore we can see the joyful effort is really very necessary for us to be successful in whatever goal that we want to achieve.
제가 저 젠디 시와라 네 같이 쪼데 가르세나 네 다가 제토고 예나야 아니야 선이 저기 너니 저기 있으니 시시잖아 아니 대니 젠디근 같이 쪼지ren디스 니발라니 아니 딱니 제토고 말했으니야 방코네 소소가 아니 시시자와네 대등이 아니 젠디근 같이 쪼를 되니래 되셔서
And now in generating this joyful effort, now the obstacles, what kind of the main hindrances that we face is that we will face that sometimes we will face that even if we have the ability and all the resources to achieve to accomplish whatever the task, but then we would we will fall under the influence of laziness, such as the procrastinations. That we rather than putting effort now, but we will just delay to making effort, and that's one, and or we may also the other obstacle or the obstacle is also that we may also think can be like a low self-esteem, or to just be like a self, a contempt, that is to saying to ourselves, if we're saying to ourselves that you are not, I'm not good enough, or I'm not, won't be able to, I have no capacity to achieve this. So by having this kind of thought, can also then be the obstacles to maintain our effort.
제자 디세가 니 시스 제주에 생에 될라니야 디세가 전에 땅아 순이제 논이제스에 지다 아니 야지 때문에 샤왕년 봐다 친디가 니 대시 든지가 라초네 아니 다 개와라 수파 개와라 수파라 제마다니가 젠디 제마도야 그들이가 아니 레로니인데스
and so there's so the procrastination. So it happens when it's relating to the really the it's really like a time factor for our making effort. So it happens when we saying instead of putting effort straight away, but we keep delaying the time frame. We will do next day or then the next day, and then just keep putting it off, and then never doing it. So that can be you can see that kind of it is actually one form of laziness. So it can be the obstacles to the joyful effort, and then likewise it can be other very the obstacle that can also prevent us from the making this joyful effort is called as the another form of like a laziness of being attached to the meaningless like activities. So and like how if we indulge ourselves in something else, which is something which really has no meaning, no really purpose. If we indulge ourselves, we are so attached to that, and this can then prevent us from engaging in the practice or in undertaking the tasks or the activities that which we are supposed to undertake.
다들 솔라네 제금 구두로 뭐제가 가르친 거라서나 뇨래 셰지 마테 녀시다스 네 셰도서는 녀시다스 마주세네네 절화다 뭐제 동바세비 논다 이세네 디텐도 가르치고 거라서나 아니 춘추깔네 치주 마테네 치조게 마테네 치 아니 로냐시세진 로송스 아니 다 제거도 선에니 아니 다 지대 샤왈트니 롱고코네 아니 로냐셔 사진 로송스 다레 마티세네니 아니 로저로 진야시다 손 로송스 제자다 나 그런가 등이 무제도 또만로 이거 로지나데 되니 이세네 아니 그리고 되니 수연도스
So there's one great Tibetan master called Je Kongtangpas, who wrote this, who made these statements that which says 20 years is wasted by not having even a thought of practicing dharmas, and then next 20 years is wasted, is all gone by saying, I will practice and I will practice. Then another 10 or more is gone, by saying, now it's too late, it's too late, and so the is the stories of an empty life loss.
제자나네 당가조 디세 시종 다소니 용노니 용 시종아 디그 년볼 가르 광고 거스나네 못어바 광고 거래스네 준 시종 됐어 못어바 거네 아니 다 나조 디세 자침 보이 봐 뭐시 받지네 아니 텔라니 디세 줄론 조스나네 당고지 세나라 수바시 아니 디모체네 나조 시에네 네 시거와도 시거와대요 아니 노장 년반 매발 수비가 던지 그 sonoji yune yunde tongwa ina ane tanda soni dragi do noni dragi sine pa shisho lelo te ne koya ne pendu yorise sungus.
So that's obviously, so that statement so is to just to advise that we our life should not be end up like that. So now as an antidote to overcome the various forms of laziness, which will obstructs us from engaging in the practice, from making effort in the practice. So for example, in order to overcome the laziness of procrastinations, then the best meditation is on the death and impermanence. That is to knowing that how the death is certain. That there is knowing that the end result of the birth is death, and so really be having that, cultivating that kind of strong awareness of this certainty of the death, and not only that, then when we cultivating the awareness that the death is, the time of death is uncertain. That is in the sense that there is no guarantee. There is no fixed time that when death will come. And so therefore when we by reflecting on this on the death and the impermanence, then we will be able to with this awareness, death and impermanent awareness, then we will be able to recognize the preciousness of our life, the preciousness of the time. How precious is the time and our life that which we have right now, and then utilizing it and so forth.
Chizang azu ni ngela chijina chirongzo tenule chiran do sege tombar ngui ba. Tin nola ani karisu yorisen chundisena ani chonde ne ta zomulin dine kumba nyangelen desate warawa. Nyangelen desate jinse gipa kararesena 시다운 거라네 네 다 지가 만지고 봤으니까 제쳐서 받달네 유나데 롱으로봐 시엔젤 롱 타서데 이내야 아니 양에는 되고 있지 제가 가르세나 아니 콜니 다 저서 과만 만지 받 유대와 이나 아니 못 지거니 치라 아니 게임비 근데 셰 마시네 네다 치가디 셰제리 저는 내일 유대요래 손에 아니 게임백은 듯이 마시네 아니 파티세 파주네 아니 드리치 그래서 딘자니 고구마냥일인데 계시네 고구마냥일인데 비가 아니 내서 대비다 규파데 드리시 수준도와 바지 인지놀라에 지랭이 좀 베이트는 되는데
So we can also note in this the Golden Light Sutras, which many of you have been reciting. So where there's some mention about the Buddhas, Lord Buddhas, going into the state of parinirvana, that is the state of death. And so of course, when we Buddha has, of course, is not subject to the death. He has the a choice. Not choice. He's not the Buddha is free from this, death, and so therefore this, there's a caution about then, why he left us, why he passed away, manifested that deeds of parinivanas. And so the main reason is to teach his followers about the death and impermanence, and also to teach them about the preciousness of their life and their time, and to making the best use of their time and their life, because we can also imagine that how if the Buddha doesn't manifest, didn't manifest that the deeds of parinirvana, then there is a possibility that many followers might think that they might then procrastinate when it comes to practicing Dharma, and studying the learning Dharma by simply thinking that we can do it a bit later because Buddha is never die, he's always there, so there's always an opportunities to hear the teachings, and so there is such danger there. So in fact, in that sutra, if you read carefully, so it does explain that the reason why the Buddha manifested that deeds of parinirvana is to show the teaching on this death and impermanence, and then to the appeal to the mind of his followers to engage in the practice.
다 샤왕 냠발 파초네 시그라 단지데 부주 습비 부주를 파초네 니 레리운드 수네니 지시모도 와다 은진시모도 레로 용거와 저절로니 냠보 카르르세나 레진데도 아니 둥아 인지위 둥아 차원도 지지 둥아 둥알 선시기와 드리그 고거니 소노 용세 또마도 와이나 아니 드리그 샤왕이 지지 레로테 파도에가 벤도에 예서레스.
And now, as an antidote to overcome the laziness of being attached to meaningless, activities, then reflecting we should reflect on the truth of the law of karma and its result, and also the reflecting on the various types of suffering, such as the suffering of suffering and suffering of change, and the pervasive suffering of conditionings and so forth.
제장아 당가서 지된들 시차래 시차에서 무시셔래 저는 된 소거라는 될 특제지 그거 특제고 이제 다 특제도 졸 아니 그거요 이때 이나 특제도 졸 같이 보지네 고서지 샤와 니파 예체 강가더니 특제 띵걸 동아지는 샤와나 아니 대체 뭐니 치려 발라서 봐 아니라 아니다 녀선으로 그러와 대인자 네가 아니 시비토네 아니 요네 용도 셈발로 공부해와이나 아니 다 샤왕이 시질래로데 바도데 약들이 예서리스.
So the fact of the matter is that we have taken this life as a human being, and then of course our life sustenance of the life is also, of course, is depending on various conditions, suitable conditions which we must have for the sustenance of life, and but then what we need to understand is that the or understand and to make sure is that we don't utilize all our actions of like action of whether it's three doors like a body, speech, and mind, and utilize all our time just to try to towards these working towards these conditions, gathering these conditions to just to make the livings, and so this is why the what is saying here so is true that we need to recognize the greater purpose of the life, more or the deeper purpose of the life, and also to and therefore to utilize, not just on the sustenance of this, our current life, just to making a living, but also towards achieving the deeper purpose of the life.
Da zupe suje ji gombu tawo ngi dre thag mari sene san shune da pi tendi ganga che ni san shune de pa telayo son se she ne ya tig nyembo son se she ju dis da te jima che mo to ta ma yong sa mares ro tare tano na ngor jo jo.
So we should also understand that we have with this our life has the potentials to even the highest enlightenment, like such as the complete enlightenment of a state of a Buddha, of a Buddha, and so now in order to achieve, to reach to that highest complete enlightenment, so we need to maintain this the continuous the joyful effort, and then to as we discussed before, to the obstacle, what the obstructs our joyful effort is the various forms of laziness. For example, there's a laziness of like a discouragement, another form of laziness. Discouragement, that is to say, if we think that how it is impossible for one to achieve the complete enlightenment, and so now how to overcome that form of the laziness of discouragements. Now I think I will explain that in next week. So because we finish for tonight's time.